Hello everyone, welcome back to Creating a Manifesting Lifestyle. I'm Joseph Alai and I have you here for episode 2, which is the feedback loop of reality. Did you know that 95% of our thoughts are repetitive and that 80% of those thoughts are negative? Recurring patterns are happening all around us, and 95% of our reality is created automatically, independent of our thoughts. 99% is created independently of our active thoughts created by our subconscious mind. And I'm going to talk to you about the feedback loop of creation. So I want to show you how to break free from these negative cycles so that you can manifest the desires you've always wanted. And also, it's about using this feedback loop, tapping into the feedback loop to automatically manifest what you want instead of the things that you're accidentally manifesting, which is happening 24/7. You're going to discover the new way to reprogram your subconscious mind without feeling overwhelmed, which is what happened to me when I was first learning this. You will, if you put this to the test, you will be able to experience consistent positive change, and it is going to be in a way that's predictable. I was skeptical when I first learned this stuff. You're probably skeptical too. You've probably tried a ton of different manifesting techniques or watched a bunch of videos and didn't see the results you hoped for. You're probably thinking, is this even going to work for me? That's literally what I was thinking. And trust me, being there, I'm here to show you, here to prove to you the things that I have proven to myself. These have not only transformed my life, but thousands of other people's lives over the last few years. So if you're someone who wants to escape the recurring negative patterns, this is the video for you. And if you're tired of inconsistent manifesting results and you want a systematic approach, a practical approach, something that actually works that you can put to the test and know that doing this thing is going to get you this result, you're in the right place. And if you're ready to take the control of your life, if you want to manifest abundance or a specific person, whatever you want to transform in your reality, you can do that. Anything is possible. This I have proven time and time again. There's a lot of manifestation teachers out there. They seemingly appeared from nowhere, which if you've been with me for years, you probably noticed that. And you probably listened to some of them and wondered, where's the real experience? Or how do I know who to believe? Why hasn't this worked for me? You need someone who has verified results. That's why you're here watching this video. I've been in this field. I've been testing manifestation for over 13 years. I've been constructing systematic methods, essentially filtering down what works into practical approaches. The experiments have effectively uncovered a lot of things that have never been talked about before. I've worked with New York Times bestselling authors, Olympic athletes, primetime television, Hollywood actors. My work has been mentioned in numerous books. I'm known, you probably, if you found me later on, you've probably heard of me as the one who started the specific person movement on YouTube or made Neville Goddard popular. The reason you've heard about those things is because for a very long time beforehand, I was obsessively reading information, putting things to the test, and then ultimately I just put everything together, all of the stuff that works. And I do have an advantage, right? The stuff that I teach has been backed by years of data-driven results. Unlike others who might regurgitate information, we all know, like we've all seen that before. I'm going to bring you teachings always that are tried and tested, they're proven to work. I'm not just going to quote the hundreds of books that I've read on manifesting or the mind or quantum physics. This is all going to be based on experience. So let me just give you a little bit about my journey, right? Growing up, I faced significant challenges. You may have heard me telling you about them before, whether it was battling depression, addiction, the tragic death of my little brother. There was always this deep sense of powerlessness. I even struggled with a heroin addiction that nearly took my life multiple times. I felt extremely trapped, extremely powerless. I thought that I would never break free from any of this stuff. That was the way that I lived. I essentially nearly accepted my fate, which was doom. But in the midst of despair, and I've talked about this before, I had a series of mystical experiences that changed everything. And this is what happened. One night I woke up and internally I was compelled to say the words, "In the name of Jesus Christ." And as I uttered those inside of my inner voice, a thunderous sound reverberated inside of my skull. I felt electricity pulsating through my brain. It was the actual sound of thunder. It was a profound moment. It essentially ignited a relentless quest to understand and harness the power within me, and then ultimately teach it to you, right? I personally never believed in anything metaphysical, nothing manifesting at all. I grew up Roman Catholic and I'm science-based, right? I went to university for physics, math, and computer science. That's what I obsess over. That's what I like. Probability, and you hear me quote a lot about math and science and probability. This is what I love. And so luckily though, having had that mystical experience, I was able to use the tools at my disposal, which is the logical and reasoning mind, and implement that with manifesting so that I could begin to test, which effectively, that was what I did. Obsessively testing, obsessively studying. I began to manifest incredible changes in my life. I went literally from the brink of death to building a successful business, helping many others do the same. I built this YouTube channel that you're looking at now, which has over 95,000 subscribers. I've created innovative applications that have generated massive results for the people who use it, like latest, my Neville Goddard AI bot. One of my clients, she used to, and I'll just mention her now, her name is Sarah, she struggled with recurring negative relationships, and reoccurring is really relevant here. But after applying what I'm about to tell you about the feedback loop, she not only broke the cycle, but manifested a fulfilling relationship within days. This is not nonsense. This is stuff you can apply. You're not going to hear this on any other channel because this is through experience, not through stuff that I have read. I'm not just sharing theories. I have lived this transformation. I know what it's like to feel hopeless and powerless. I'm here to guide you through the exact same process that changed my life. In my workshops, often I share the quote that my entire goal is to demystify, systemize manifesting and share it with the world. So listen, have you ever, this is the meat and potatoes of it, right? Have you ever witnessed or experienced patterns in your life that seem to repeat over and over? Maybe it's the same kind of unfulfilling relationships, the same experiences that seem to miraculously be happening over and over. Maybe it's persistent financial struggles or recurring challenges at work. Oftentimes this feels like you're in a hamster wheel. I know for me, a lot of times this had to do with romantic relationships, the feeling of insecurity or being abandoned. It would just happen no matter how carefully I selected my next choice. The selection I made always wound up with the same outcome. So have you ever felt that? I know many people have, and it can feel like you're literally stuck on a hamster wheel with no hope and nothing you can do to get out of it. You're running hard but getting nowhere. It is the most frustrating thing. But there is a way to break free from these negative cycles. I'm telling you that, and I'm about to explain it to you. A method to reprogram your subconscious mind, which is the cause of these things. I'm going to give you that method so you can manifest the reality that you really desire. So these insights that I want to offer you today, this is the insights into the mechanics of how reality is formed. This is what I call the feedback loop of reality, and I'm going to teach you how to break that loop or use it to your advantage or circumvent it to prevent it from doing the same thing as it's always done. So check it. Our experiences, our perceptions, and our subconscious impressions are continuously interacting and creating. This is what's happening over and over and over. What we believe influences what we perceive, which in turn reinforces our beliefs. This is a cycle, but there's more to this. It is a self-sustaining cycle. It keeps spinning unless we consciously intervene, but it's not just internally. This also manifests externally. I said before, 99% of the world pushed out is our subconscious beliefs. That's what I'm talking about here. Yes, we all know how to manifest our desires by imagining the end. That's the silver bullet of manifesting. But what we're talking about here is the other 99% of our reality, which is also our creation, and we have to intervene. So, more specifically, there is an exact way that reality is created, and here it is. So by mastering this, you can stop it from happening. You can make it be whatever you want it to be. It's literally as easy as knowing this formula, recognizing this formula, and applying this formula. It's very, very simple. You witness your reality. That's the first component, right? Witnessing manifestations. This is what we do. Everything around us is a manifestation. And whether that is something that we have deliberately pushed out or something accidentally, suffice it to say, every single thing that we experience is a manifestation. And so that is step one, is to recognize that we are witnessing our reality. And that's phase one in this feedback loop. That can be what you're experiencing from the outside, like interactions with friends, families, coworkers, your partner, what your parents might teach you, positive or negative experiences, literally anything, all things external, and your effectively what accidentally or randomly appears within the mind. The second step after that happens is you experience. So your experiences enter your perception. The manifestations enter your perception. Your perception is internal. This is what you experience. That's all you. That's not anything having to do with something happening to you, right? This is after it happens in your life. It's the way that you perceive it. This is what I'm talking about here. This is the second step in the feedback loop. The way you react to the experience is what I'm talking about. That's that aspect of what you perceive is what effectively impresses your subconscious mind. So, in other words, it's not the actual witnessing of something that impresses your subconscious mind. That would make us victims, and that's not what's happening. People would like us to believe that. It's all over the news. This is happening to us. So you're finished. You're a victim. But that's not actually what's happening, right? What's actually happening is there is a filter between the experience and our subconscious, and that is our perception. The perception impresses the subconscious. So it's literally our perception of what we're witnessing, our experiencing, that causes the impression. That's the most important thing that you can take away here, because from that, you really can think about what you wish to be perceiving instead of what you are automatically perceiving, right? It's important because this is what gives us power. There's literally no one or no thing that can tell us what to think or what to perceive. This is why two people can witness the same thing, but interpret it and experience it in two different ways. This is like one of a really common or popular example. You can have two people that grow up in an abusive household, right? We see this all the time. And one person turns out to be an abuser or an addict, or the other one comes out and they are seemingly unscathed, or they do whatever they can to make the world a better place. This is because the interpretation of the experiences are different. I grew up in the same household as my two brothers and my sister. Everyone turned out to be different, right? If it was the witnessing of the experience that caused the impressions, we would all be really in the same household, we would all be the same way. But it's because of the way we interpret it. And a lot of this is logical, but there's a manifesting aspect to this, which is the aspect that your perceptions end up impressing the subconscious mind. So it is crucial to control the perceptions. This is the key to manifesting. Even if you witness something you do not agree with, or something that could potentially cause a negative side effect, something that disturbs you or bothers you, if you interpret it in a way that can be helpful to you, like if you naturally or you deliberately do that, you will impress it the way that you perceive it. Yes, I'm literally saying if you witness something and deny it's happening and accept that something else has been happening, you will impress the something else that you perceive as happening, not the actual experience. So essentially, to summarize this, you can witness anything, but it's the way you choose to perceive it that will impress your subconscious mind. That's the takeaway. That's what's extremely, extremely, extremely important here. This is the key to power, right? Impressions are made through our perception onto the subconscious mind. The subconscious is in charge of passing off those same impressions to God, or awareness. This is the way that our subconscious is connected. This is the way that we are moved through manifestations, right? You make impressions, your impressions go to God or awareness or consciousness, and then consciousness delegates the execution of that plan, right? This is how manifestations occur. You will not experience what you have witnessed again, but you will manifest what you have perceived. That's the takeaway here. So, for example, if you believe something or if you interpret something to the effect of that you're not deserving of success, your subconscious mind will filter experiences to confirm that belief. And not only that, you're going to manifest them on the screen of space. So even if things happen that are in your favor, you will naturally interpret them as something sabotaging. That's an amazing feat of this as well. It's not only about interpretation, though. You will naturally manifest situations that are going to make you a victim more and more. So here are two things you can do to change the feedback loop to stop creating the same thing, right? So that's the point. We want to stop creating negative experiences. We want to stop reacting negatively. We want to effectively start creating the reality that we want to experience. And again, this is the key to success. This is how we are going to embed manifesting as a lifestyle. This is how we are going to transform the 99% of our reality that we're not deliberately manifesting so that it works for us. All right, so this is the first aspect, the first thing you can do to change this. Whenever you witness something that would not be conducive to you manifesting what you want, or in other words, if you normally react negatively to something, that would therefore reinforce it and therefore create it again. When it happens, and I alluded to this before, what happens is you would internally, deliberately engage in a different inner conversation than normal. So instead of saying, man, this always happens to me, right? I'll never get what I want. I'm forever alone. People always screw me over. I'm forever going to be poor. I'm a victim. Boo-hoo. Woe is me, right? We all do that. I do that as well. But when that happens, if we prevent ourselves from engaging in that, we will stop impressing that. So it's a dead stop, right? Or every time money goes out is the direct moment that money starts coming in, right? Replace that instead of like, I'm always going to lose everything. So you just choose what you wish to be experiencing. Now, this isn't thought flipping. This isn't obsessively thinking things and stopping it and flipping it. This is when an experience happens, you switch it. Or you could add something like people always, effectively the idea is instead of conceding to the victim mentality, which says, man, this always happens to me, you would choose something instead. Choose something that would perceive it differently, right? I always give this example. When I was young, there was an experience where my mother was going out to dinner and my father was teasing me saying she was never going to come home. I interpreted that as like I was abandoned fully, and that actually affected me for 20, 30 years. That really screwed up most of my relationships. Anyone else might have interpreted that as just like a joke, but my interpretation of it, that didn't affect my brother in that manner, and he heard the same thing. He didn't give a crap. He was unteased, you could say. But that interpretation screwed me. So if internally I just laughed it off, or I said that's not true, right? One of the famous teachings from Neville Goddard in The Law and the Promise is he talks about a man who went inside a record store to ask for a record. They denied him, but in his mind, he heard it as saying, that's not what I heard. I didn't hear him deny me. And that man then said, wait a second, and reached up and grabbed a record off of the shelf, one that was supposed to be for a display, and it was the album, the only one left, where everyone else was sold out. So it was the internal switching of the dialogue that caused him to get that manifestation. It might sound delusional, but it is the same thing as an imaginal act. The second approach is to acknowledge the story and make note of it. This is one that I condone more so because it prevents this thought flipping contagion that makes people crazy. So if you are obsessively flipping thoughts and you have problems with that, stick with this one instead. That will help you to stop doing the obsessive thought flipping, that will act as force effectively if you do that obsessively, which force we know doesn't work. So what we want to do is, the second step would be we make note of the thing that we wish So we make note of the problem that we have internally. So if we interpret something as I'm a victim, this never is going to work for me, I'm always going to be single, I'm always going to be screwed over, I'm always a victim, I'm always this, I'm always that. We make note of the internal assumption, right? We make note of it, right? I always lose money, or people always screw me over. Because this is actually what is executing. We do have a ledger in the subconscious mind which pushes out the exact nature of it. Our conscious, I talk about this in prior videos, and I would watch my videos on Everyone Is Yourself Pushed Out and conscious manifesting. We talk about how our consciousness replicates what it's aware of. That's how manifesting works. So the statement that says internally, I'm a victim, this always happens to me, that manifests. So that is called an assumption or a belief. We make note of that. You should have a journal. I told you in the last video, you should have a journal. So you should be jotting down these things when they come up in your mind. These victim mentalities, these I always this or woe is me that. You jot them down, and then later you change the meaning to a different, you replace it with the opposite. You create a different assumption. You construct a scenario or a statement which would imply the opposite, such as I always get what I want. Everyone always is loyal to me. My partners are always consistent. People are always truthful to me. Whatever the problem that you're facing in the mind, you jot it, right? People always screw me over. And then later on, you go and replace that with an opposite thing. You write it down. And then you would create, later when you have time, you would relax and create an imaginal conversation with a trusted friend where you're just talking about the fact that money does always come to you, or people are always honest and loyal to you. That would impress the subconscious mind, and that would ultimately stop the money from leaving. It would stop people from being disloyal or dishonest. It would stop you from creating situations like that, and it would stop your inner dialogue. So your perception will change, and therefore that feedback loop, it will stop it from happening. Just imagine the feeling of the exhilaration of literally breaking free from those chains that keep you stuck in that loop. You need to see your reality the way as you want to. It will change. It will be modified, right? Imagine you have it the exact way that you want. That is the power of understanding and altering your feedback loop. That is breaking the feedback loop. That's what we're doing here. So something to help you, and here's something exciting for this video, only this video, obviously. I'm offering the exclusive worksheet that will guide you through this process. Effectively, what I do is I take the ideas and I guide you through this process, right? This concept that I've talked about many times before, this feedback loop, and I've created worksheets before, so I've effectively taken what has helped thousands of people and put it into this resource. This has transformed many lives, and I want you to be next. So this is effectively the ticket to making manifesting a lifestyle. This is the core principle behind that. This is what will activate you manifesting automatically and continuously. You've already taken this step by being here. That was a crucial step. So let's align your actions with your desire to change. The worksheet, as I said, it's packed with a bunch of resources that are going to help you use exercises or techniques that I've developed over the last 13 years of systematic manifesting research. I'm giving it to you simply for the fact that I just want your success. That's why I'm here. I want you to actually put this into practice. The majority, you can look the statistic up itself. I forget the statistic offhand, but majority of people just watch and never do anything. Literally, this is so effective. All you need to do is apply it and it will work virtually immediately. So join the thousands who have already downloaded it and who are experiencing the profound transformations in their life. Just do that. It takes 2 seconds. We on this channel, you and me, you guys, my friends, we're a community of like-minded individuals, obviously, right? Starting this revolution of the mind, supporting each other on this journey towards the manifesting lifestyle. That's the key. You download that. It will get you on the email list also, so I'll notify you for the future videos with resources to help you make this into a lifestyle, right? To master manifesting practically, right? This is implementable steps that work every time. So click the link below or on the description and the comments and just download the worksheet. You can start taking control of your feedback loop today. Imagine waking up every single day with clarity and confidence, knowing that you are the architect of your reality. That's why we manifest, to gain that power. This is why I manifested, to get out of the powerlessness that I was in. Picture yourself effortlessly manifesting the relationships or opportunities or abundance that you've always wanted. Just think of the grandest ideas that you've ever had. This is all practical. A practical approach you can take to get it is right in front of you. This isn't just a dream. It's entirely possible. It's not BS, and it starts with just taking the action right now. You're already on this series, which ensure that you continue to watch this series. Make sure you stay tuned for the videos when they're released and follow the steps here. Literally, I see you as my friend. I want you to succeed. If you don't do these exercises, you literally will never know what it's like to have the amazing success that thousands have experienced together with me. I want you to be so good at manifesting that you do not need me anymore. I've said that time and time again. That is always the greatest. When I receive an email from someone and they say, thank you, I have unsubscribed because I've gotten every single thing, right? This has happened countless times. This is what people do. This is what I do. This is what I love to do. So remember, listen, I have been where you are. I know the path forward. Don't forget to watch my previous episode if you haven't already. It sets the tone or the foundation for everything that we've discussed today and everything that we are going to discuss. Make sure also you stay tuned for the next episode, which is beliefs and assumptions. We've tapped into that today, which is crucial. This is the fabric of our reality. Right? This is the foundation of everything. When we delve deeper, and we'll go even deeper into the core beliefs that shape your experiences, how to transform them and align them with your desires so that you can have them working with you. The current will be working with your imaginal acts. That's the way that you will get the results that you want in an effortless manner. So listen, these insights, they're pivotal for my manifesting journey, for yours as well. Just don't miss them. Make sure you do the work. So as I said, let's just recap real quick. Download the accompanying worksheet. That's the first thing, right? Click the link below, get your exclusive worksheet, and start transforming your feedback loop today. Watch the previous video. If you missed episode 1, make sure to check it out to fully grasp how to make manifesting a lifestyle. Next is to stay tuned for the next episode on beliefs and assumptions. It's coming up next, and it's going to be a game changer. If you're on my email list, you will get an email to notify you, but definitely if you're interested, hit the bell icon, right? Empower yourself to create the life you have always dreamed of. You've committed to this journey. Let's keep the momentum going. Start transformations now. I'm here with you every step of the way. That's why I'm making this mini series. It's too confusing. There's too much stuff out there. We have to do this together. So thank you for being part of this incredible community. I can't wait to see the amazing things that you're going to achieve. So many people have before. So many people have posted them in the comments. This has been one of the most fascinating and amazing periods in my journey. Thank you so much for being here with me, and I'll see you next time.